Okay, this piece is called Read, Write, Copyright, Speak. And this is 4 skills. Each one is dependent upon the previous one or the previous multiple ones to be any good at it. And it all starts with reading. That's not reading sports scores or the funnies. It's reading books. It's reading classic works so that you understand the language. And then it moves on to writing, and writing is simply expressing yourself based on how well you understand the language and your experience and things that you've picked up along the way. You start writing about things that you care about, things you believe in, things you're passionate about. And it's really hard to write unless you do a lot of reading to begin with. The reading precedes the writing. Copywriting is the third and much less common skill. Most people don't know how to write copy. Copy is what we also refer to as distance persuasion, persuading people at a distance. So you're in your office and you're writing some words and they end up on a billboard on the other side of the country, or they end up in a television ad on the Super Bowl. And that's persuading people in distant places to do something, to buy something in most cases, but also to join things, to adopt a different viewpoint about how the world works, about that particular person who is expressing themselves, convincing people to follow you, those kinds of things. The fourth is even more rare than copywriting, and actually some people skip over this part and go straight to the speaking part, but I strongly encourage you to learn how to write copy before you get involved in speaking, because speaking is about persuading. It's about taking a group of people that you're talking to and convincing them that your ideas are worth listening to. And you're basically selling out loud. You're doing what I also like to refer to as verbal copywriting. That's what speaking is. And the underlying technology or theory, logic behind copy, both in the written form, and that's copywriting, and in the verbal form, and that's speaking, is neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. Richard Bandler is the kind of granddaddy or one of the original people that wrote about and popularized NLP. And it's a science that copywriters tend to gravitate towards to study, to help them understand human behavior, motivation, why people do the things they do. Copywriting is about getting inside the head of the prospect, the person who's potentially going to join you, buy your product or service. And that's not the easiest skill to acquire. So once you get to this point speaking, now a loop starts, because the people who speak read more and write more. And many of them learn how to write copy in order to become a better speaker. And you get this loop that reading leads to better writing. Writing makes it easier for you to write copy, assuming you develop the psychology and the skill set to understand the motivations why people do things. And then speaking becomes easy for you once you've mastered these first 3, because you know the material. You're an expert, you're an authority. There won't be anybody in the audience that can throw you a curveball that you don't understand. And that's what makes it easy to speak. If you don't have command of your material, you're going to have butterflies, you're going to be nervous, you're going to stammer, you're not going to be in command of your material. You're going to have to be constantly fumbling in your notes. And if somebody throws a nasty question at you, you're gone, you're lost. Well, I'll have to look that up. I'll have to get back to you on that, is the standard response when you're not really the authority. So it starts with the reading, progresses to writing. If you become good at writing copy, then now you've got a skill that you can sell for a very large amount of money. And then speaking is one of the most high-paying skills of all. And that involves teaching, it involves motivating, it involves going into complicated subjects, technical subjects, human behavior, self-improvement, all of those things that people pay a large amount of money for.